Today on Gary's Urban Larder, I'm making this beautiful double-dredge crispy fried chicken. And the reason is that tomorrow I'm going to a picnic here in Olvera for a festival, El Lunes de Quasimodo. Let's get started. Before I get started, I just want to thank all my subscribers for getting me over the 500 subscriber mark. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It's free and we have a lot of fun here. Okay, I'm going to take you through the ingredients. I have 2 cups of flour, which I've added some salt. I have some cornstarch or corn flour. I have baking powder, and I also have some buttermilk, which I've added some hot sauce to. Okay, now we'll go through the spicing. I have 3 different herbs. I have marjoram, thyme, and oregano. There's cumin. I have paprika and cayenne pepper. I have onion powder and garlic powder, and I have white pepper and ginger, and also I'm going to add some cracked black pepper into our dredge. So, last but not least, the chicken. Whole chicken, which I've cut up into 10 pieces. So I have 2 drumsticks, 2 wings, breasts that have been halved, there's 4 pieces, and then the thigh. So let's get started by preparing the dredge. By the way, the chicken has been brined, dry brined overnight. And we're just going to add everything all at once into the dredge. So again, that's flour, salt, black pepper, the cornstarch, baking powder, our 3 herbs, cumin, the cayenne and the paprika, smoky paprika. Actually, it's a pimentón de la Vera, which is popular here in Andalusia. And fitting, since this is going for the picnic tomorrow, for the El Lunes de Quasimodo, which is a local holiday. So the entire town turns out and follows a procession out into the edge of town, and then they're there all day having fun, sitting under the olive trees, and hopefully eating some of my fried chicken. So, there, our dredge is ready. It really is that easy. So I'm just going to give the buttermilk a stir. So, that's done. What we're going to do is a double dredge. So I'm going to take our chicken pieces, and if they're too damp, I'm just going to give them a rub down with some paper. And that looks good. So I'm just going to toss those all in to the dredge and get those coated. And I don't often make fried chicken, but it seems for a picnic, doing it, having it ready, cold the next day. We're going to be outside. It will keep well. It just seemed ideal. So, get all of those dredged. Now that we have them dredged once to dry, I'm just going to put them then in the buttermilk and the hot sauce. And I'm going to set some over here so that I have a bit more room. So I have confined space here. I'm being careful to keep a wet hand and a dry hand. So once that's in the buttermilk, I'll use the wet hand and just get those in, give them a little shake, and then back in to the dredge. Give it a little shake, back into the dredge. A little shake, back into the dredge, and then the dry hand. And I want to make sure that really sticks, so give it a good squeeze. You know, pretend it's your baby. Give it a good squeeze. Okay, so that then goes on a rack. And we're going to repeat with the remainder of our chicken. So with the wet hand and the pieces go, give it a shake into the dredge. Now this will get clumps and lumps in the dredge, and don't worry about it. You want those. Those are going to give extra crunch. So those are in. I give them a toss. Again, get that dredge really to stick by giving it a good squeeze. And I'll put the others with the wet hand into the wet. While I'm doing that, I am ambidextrous. So let's get that. Now, the reason I'm adding these to the wire rack once they've had their second dredge is that we're going to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes for that dredge to tighten up, because we want it to really stick and be crunchy. So that's why we're doing that. I'll get all that in. And while we're waiting for it to set, we'll heat our oil to 325, 350 Fahrenheit, 160, 175 Celsius. Last two. And we're going to fry the easiest things first. We'll start with the chicken wings, and then followed by the breast pieces, and then lastly our legs and thighs. So there. Nearly there. Again, I want to get that dredge really to stick to the chicken, really giving it a good squeeze. And there it goes to dry. Well, we've given our chicken 10 to 15 minutes for the dredge to set. Our fat is coming up to temperature. I'm using a sunflower oil. Some people prefer peanut oil, whichever you prefer. A neutral oil is best. So I'm just trying to let that get a little bit higher, because when we add the chicken, the temperature will drop. And we want to maintain that ideally between 325, 350. And it's at 340 now. So that's 160 to roughly 175. So that's really what we're shooting for. Okay. I'm going to start, as I said, with the wing. And the wings are going to cook for 8 to 10 minutes until the internal temperature is 160 Fahrenheit. So we'll just give that its time to do its magic. Make sure you keep an eye on the temperature, on the fat. That's down to 330 now. So that's a good, actually where we want to be. So that's just below 170 Celsius. Now, I've got about 3 inches of oil in here, but of course you can turn these to make sure they cook evenly on all sides. I don't like to overcrowd the pan. There's a chance it can overflow, your temperature drops too low. So really, take your time. It's going to be a beautiful chicken. We're going to remove it to a wire rack over some kitchen toweling so it can drain, and we want that to crisp up. We don't want to put that warm, hot anyways in a pack, in a container, because then all that work we did in getting the dredge to dry and double dredging it, all that crispiness will be lost. I'll tell you, if you don't have one, definitely invest in a candy thermometer, cooking thermometer. This does candy, hot oil, deep frying. I can watch the temperature. It's holding steady where I want it to be. These have about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then we'll pull them out. Well, you can see we've taken out our chicken wings. I use this little spider. It's a handy tool. I don't want these to touch because the steam will make that crunch wilt. And we want to keep that for as long as we can. So I have the chicken breasts in here now, and they have just been in a couple of minutes, and they're starting to brown. They need 8 to 10 minutes, like the wings. You can always give it a little turn so you can make sure that it cooks evenly and that it browns evenly. A few more minutes. That's looking really beautifully brown and crisp. And we are getting a bit of splash. That's again why we don't want to overcrowd the pan. All right, well, I'm going to remove these pieces in just a bit. And I really want to be careful. I do not want to get splashed by the hot fat. That's why I'm standing over here. That would not be a good thing. So give it a few more minutes, couple more minutes, and we'll pull those out. Yeah, look at that. I've just removed 2 of the chicken breasts, and now I'm adding the remainder. And then we'll do the thighs and the legs, the drumsticks. Just checking the rest of, oh, wow, that looks beautiful. Just checking the chicken breasts. Surprised myself. It looks so good. So I think just a minute or 2, and then we'll put in our legs, drumsticks, and the thighs, and those will take 10 to 12 minutes. So, and you can probably see the chicken that we've done. It's beautifully crisp. But if you can hear that, it's beautifully crisp. So let's pull this out. Well, actually, I'm going to use the spider. It's a bit safer, longer reach. So I can let that drain. See, I love this. Rest there. And then I'll use the tongs to place them on the rack. Again, I don't want these touching. I don't want the steam from the cooked meat to affect the crispness of the others. So in go our thighs. Let's check the temperature. Yeah. We finished frying all of the chicken. I ran out of space. Again, we want to keep these spaced apart so that they can cool and the now crispy coating will stay crisp and crunchy. And I'm telling you, it's smelling really good in here. So we'll let these cool completely. I want them to go cold. And then we'll box them for tomorrow. So I don't have a tasting for you today, but I may have something for you special at the end. So wait until the end. Well, our fried chicken has completely cooled now, and it is crisp and it smells beautiful. So now I could pack it away for tomorrow's picnic. I can pack it away without any worries about the Christmas being lost. This will be a big hit at tomorrow's Quasimodo celebration. So there we are. Well, thank you for joining me today at Gary's Urban Larder. If you enjoyed today's recipe, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel, it's free, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single delicious recipe. And please share this video with your friends so we can help build our community. Until next time, goodbye.